Okay, good morning, everyone. I think I'll give a minute or two for people to jump on, but wanted to thank everyone for joining the Opkalla team today for our webinar on mastering Teams phone, introduction, deployment, and best practices. So a quick introduction for our speakers today. Myself, Dan Hewson. I am the Microsoft Enablement Manager here at Opkalla. We also have Rachel Berry. She is our Senior Microsoft Solutions Specialist. And we also have Shanice Rowe, another one of our Microsoft Solutions Specialists. And I'll take a moment. The reason why we chose this topic, just getting customer feedback, this Teams phone conversation has become more and more relevant for a couple different reasons we found. First of all, is customers' displeasure with their current phone vendor. Second, the way Microsoft has actually positioned this product as they have bundled it into some of their suites where customers are looking to get the most value out of their Microsoft investment by using all the products that they're paying for. And also just basically customers' desire to standardize on all Microsoft solutions. So we feel this product is coming up more and more in conversation. So hopefully you'll find some value with our experiences around Teams Phone and some of our best practices and information. So with that, can we move on to the agenda, Rachel? So for our agenda today, we are going to start with an introduction to Opkalla. So we may have customers on the phone that have not worked with Opkalla in the past. I'm going to take us through a quick introduction to the organization. Then we'll move on to the Teams Phone content, starting with the Teams Phone features and licensing. Then we'll move over to an overview of deploying Teams, managing Teams Phone and best practices. And then also we're going to allow time at the end of the presentation for a Q&A session along with next steps. So what I wanted to tell everyone on the call is if you do have questions during the presentation, feel free to submit them through the chat. I will go ahead and manage those questions throughout the presentation, and then we will allow time to address all the questions that are submitted. So starting with the introduction to Opkalla as an organization. So first of all, we are your technology advisor. We are just not another vendor. And the way I like to explain it to customers is that we have a consultative approach to our customers and solutions. So it starts with really understanding where your current state is, and then creating a strategic plan together around reaching your target state and achieving the best solution, both from a technology and a financial standpoint. So we will sit on the same table with you, negotiating the best price, treating every step with urgency, and obviously acting with transparency, communication being extremely important through this process. So we can move on. Thanks, Rachel. I also want to show you the core values that we operate with here at Opkalla. One being trust, second being transparency, third being speed. Along with these core values, we are focused on the best interest for our customers, and we employ all these values as we serve our clients around the world to gain their trust and work as their trusted partner. Here's a quick look at our technology roadmap. I'm not going to go through every one of these, but if you do see something here, I will have a next steps portion of the presentation where we can connect you with one of our technology advisors or engineers where we can have a discussion on one of these topics to see how we can assist you. Today, we're going to be focused on Microsoft 365, as you see that circled in the middle here, specifically around Teams Phone. And I also wanted to take one moment to introduce you to our Microsoft CSP practice here at Opkalla. And I think we have a short video that we're going to show you to get started.
Every day, millions of organizations rely on Microsoft's tools. But as Microsoft's suite of tools continues to change and expand, finding the right tools for the job and using them effectively has become a job in itself. Opkalla can help. As a cloud solutions provider for Microsoft, Opkalla has achieved a Solutions Partner for Modern Work designation and an Adoption and Change Management specialization. With our best-in-class expertise, we can help you develop, implement, and manage a comprehensive Microsoft strategy for your entire organization with trust, transparency, and speed. We'll work directly with your IT team to assess your unique needs and sort through the clutter to identify which Microsoft solutions are right for you. Then we'll help you procure them at a discounted price, implement the right features, and train your team on how to use them effectively. If you need assistance, our in-house Microsoft staff can assist you, or submit a Premier support ticket to Microsoft at no additional cost. We also offer a self-service portal where you can manage all your licenses or get immediate answers to Microsoft questions 24/7 using our AI chatbot, Spark AI. That way you can make the most of your Microsoft investment every day. Visit opkalla.com/contact to talk with a Microsoft licensing expert today. Every
Thank you, Rachel. So, as the video explained, our Microsoft CSP practice, we are a tier one cloud solutions provider for CSP agreements, which means to our customers, we can give you the best price possible under a CSP agreement. We have our certifications from a security standpoint and modern work and the adoption and change management. So, we went through most of the items on the right. The benefits of working with Opkalla being one Microsoft portal to manage all of your licenses. One conversation we get into often is support around Microsoft licensing. And here at Opkalla, we do offer Premier support at no cost on top of your license fees. We also will go through contract flexibility and how we can save money on your CSP agreements. And I'll jump to the bottom here. What I like to explain to customers is that we're going to take a proactive approach to the life cycle of your CSP agreement by providing you with any updates from a Microsoft perspective, if that's around licensing changes, cost increases, and just staying in front of those changes for your organization. So if you do want to speak in more detail around our CSP practice, again, at the next steps portion, we can put you in touch with one of our Microsoft resources, one of the three of us, where we can get into a more detailed conversation. With that, we can move on to Teams Phone, and I'll pass it over to Rachel.
Great, awesome. Thank you so much, Dan. That was a great introduction. And good morning again, everyone. As Dan would have mentioned earlier, my name is Rachel Berry, and I'm one of the Microsoft Solution Specialists here at Opkalla. I'm also a Microsoft Certified Teams Administrator. So this topic basically falls within the skills and expertise that I have been certified by Microsoft for. So I'll be sharing my knowledge today with you guys surrounding the features that comes with Teams Phone, as well as how you'll be able to license it in order to start utilizing it within your environment. All right, so first we're going to start off by talking about what is Microsoft Teams. Now, Microsoft Teams is a collaboration platform designed by Microsoft to help workplaces to be able to work better, as well as to build teamwork within the organization. So within Microsoft Teams, you have different capabilities that you can utilize within your environment, from meeting with your employees, from having calls either through Teams Phone or just having a direct call through Teams. You can also collaborate in Teams. So if you have different departments within your organization that would like to share files, work on files together, Teams provide that platform where you can collaborate, because it does integrate with OneDrive as well as SharePoint. So any files that are shared within Teams, if there are any files that are shared personally, then those will be stored in OneDrive. If there's any files that are shared, let's say through a Teams channel, then those will be shared on a SharePoint side. So Teams is integrated with other Microsoft 365 apps to provide you with full collaboration within your environment. And then, of course, within Teams, you can also chat with your coworkers, you can chat with clients. So Teams is the full platform that gives you the capabilities to be able to have more collaboration within your organization. Now, also for Teams, you do have additional add-ons that you can purchase based on different capabilities that you would like to implement. So for example, if you would like to start having more one-on-one calls, then you can add on Teams Phone, which basically provides you with a designated phone number that you can utilize to make outbound calls as well as receive inbound calls. You also have Teams Premium, which is basically an add-on to Teams, which provides you with more enhanced capabilities. For example, you have intelligent recap, which basically builds in AI, where you can get automated AI notes from any meetings that you join. And then, of course, you have Teams Rooms, which basically provides you with more of an enhanced in-room meeting experience. So for Teams Rooms, you have Teams Rooms Basic, you have Teams Rooms Pro. So depending on what capabilities you need within your environment, there is a specific add-on that can meet that need. Now, overall, within Teams, another way on how you can enhance your productivity is by implementing Copilot. So Copilot is an AI tool that integrates with the different Microsoft 365 apps, including Teams, and it allows you to be able to improve your efficiency as well as be more productive. So from helping you to take notes, helping you to recap meeting chats, helping you to be able to find information a lot quicker instead of having to manually do it. Copilot works throughout Teams to help you in being able to be more productive. So with Teams, you have intelligent productivity, you have rich engagement, you have flexible workplaces, and then you also have advanced protection, which is built into Teams Premium. All right. And then, of course, there are also new features that Microsoft continues to roll out to provide organizations with better ways to manage their environment. And one of those new features would be Microsoft Places. So if you have employees that work remotely, if you have employees that work in office, they're able to utilize Microsoft Places to help your different employees to be able to determine, is an employee working remotely, are they working in office? So this helps everyone to stay in the know and be able to collaborate together as an organization. All right, now for the features of Teams, I do have a quick video overview here just to give you guys more of a visual of what some of those capabilities are. Then we'll be able to dive into what those features are and how they can help you guys to be more collaborative.
When time is of the essence, sometimes it's easier to jump on a call to discuss. With Microsoft Teams, jump right into voice and video calls using Teams Phone to talk with your team and get things done faster. Make your receive calls on your computer, tablet, or mobile device using the Calls tab. Or, if you're already in a chat, switch to a call from the phone icon to share updates or clarify important details. Let's learn more about what you can do from the Calls tab. With Teams Phone, you can start voice and video calls over internet with your Teams contacts. Just type their names from the search bar or use it for audio calls just like a traditional telephone. Enter a phone number using the dial pad or search for it in your directory. Access your call history and check incoming, outgoing, and missed calls. And if you missed a call, check your voicemail to read transcripts of your messages or listen to audio recordings, whichever you prefer. Use settings to customize things like incoming calls, voicemail greetings, and ringtones. And if you're on the go, you can transfer calls between devices to minimize interruptions. Teams Phone connects everyone with audio and video calling, so you can better collaborate, communicate, and keep things going.
Right, awesome. So that's a quick video surrounding some of the features that comes in Teams Phone. Now let's talk a bit more surrounding what some of those features are, as well as what some of the calling features are, because within Teams Phone, that provides you with the cloud-based phone system. But in order to be able to have the calling capabilities, then you do have the option of purchasing a calling plan. All right, so first off, one of the features that comes with Teams Phone and Call-in is seamless integration in order for you to have more enhanced communication. So for Microsoft Teams, a lot of organizations utilize it right now for Teams meetings as well as for Teams chat. However, when it comes to having quick conversations, there are times where you just want to have just call someone quickly just to explain something without having to type it in the chat or having to set up a meeting to do so. So with utilizing Microsoft Teams, let's say you are having a chat having a chat right now with one of your employees, and you would like to go ahead and just have a quick call with them to be able to explain better what that topic is that you guys are discussing. You can just simply select the call option, and then you can change that Teams chat into a Teams phone conversation. All right, so it does provide you with a seamless integration, whether you're moving from a chat to a Teams call, or let's say you want to move from a Teams call to a video call. Teams also allows you the option to turn on your camera so that you can have more personalized conversations as well. So with that being said, with Teams Phone, it does support voice calls, it supports video calls, as well as messaging all in one platform. So basically, Teams Phone is your one-stop shop for all communications within your organization. So from calling someone via voice, either calling someone to share a video, or just by messaging someone, Teams is that one platform that does it all. Now, not only does it support those capabilities, it also has advanced call management features for your organization to be able to better manage your call-ins. So within Teams, you have add-ons such as Teams Premium, which does provide you with more advanced capabilities. For example, let's say you're having a call with your HR team and you want to be able to apply a watermark just to show that the information that you guys are discussing are confidential. Then you can put a confidential watermark on your background. You can also, of course, set up your voicemail so that if anyone does not get through to you while calling, they can leave a voice message. And then the great thing that I like with Teams, it not only gives you the option to listen the voicemail, but you can also convert it to text. All right, so within Teams, it has a lot of advanced call management features. You also have even call queues and auto attendance. So let's say, for example, you would like to set up like an automated system to be able to direct persons when they call to different departments. So let's say you call in and you would like to get redirected to the sales team, to the marketing team. Teams allow you to be able to set up auto attendance, which will route customers to a specific department. And then, of course, for those different departments, you can set up call queues so that multiple persons within that department will be able to answer that call once it comes in. So there are a lot of call management features that comes within Teams to fit your specific needs. All right, now not only does it provide call management feature, but it also provides you with flexible call-in plans, those that are designed for your diverse needs. So whether you're looking to make calls within the US or you're looking to make international calls, Teams provides you with a call-in plan to fit that specific need. So you have domestic call-in plans, which allows you to call within the US or Canada. You also have international call-in plans, which allows you to be able to call over around 190 countries worldwide. So if you're looking to make call with persons in the UK, in China, in the Caribbean, you have a specific call-in plan that can match that need. All right. And then lastly, and of course, one of the core things with Teams is that it has built-in security features to help you to protect your user data and privacy. As you all know, data privacy and security, that is one of the top priority for any organization. So with having those built-in security features in Teams, you're able to protect your information. So of course, you can set up certain capabilities such as meeting templates. You can set up sensitivity labels to help you in blocking information from being shared outside the organization. So later on in the presentation, we'll go through what are some of those security features and best practices when it comes to managing Teams. But overall, these are some of the capabilities and features that you have within Teams Phone, as well as call-in. Right now, with those capabilities that we just saw, in order for you to start utilizing those, you would have to purchase a Teams Phone or call-in license. All right, so we're going to talk about what some of those licenses are that will fit your specific needs. So first off, we have the Teams Phone Standard. This is basically the standardized cloud-based phone system that Microsoft offers. All right, so this is where you can get voicemail, you can access your call history, you can receive calls, you also get a designated phone number. So there are a wide variety of phone numbers that Microsoft offers. So if you would like to find a specific phone number based on your area code, based on your country, then Microsoft offers different options for you to choose from in order to assign a phone number. All right, and the cost for Teams Phone at retail cost is $10.50 per user per month. All right, and this is on an annual billed monthly. That's what ABM stands for. And this basically means that you basically will be committed for a year, but paying on a monthly basis. All right, now keep in mind that these are the retail costs, so there are discounts that will apply by purchasing through Opkalla. So if you have not purchased a phone system as yet and you would like to receive additional cost savings, feel free to reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to have that discussion with you and then help you in purchasing that license and provide you with additional cost savings versus going through Microsoft directly or another CSP. All right. Now, separate from Teams Phone Standard, you also have Teams Phone with calling plan, which is basically a bundle. So keep in mind, Teams Phone Standard only provides you with the phone system. However, if you would like to be able to make outbound calls, then you would need to have a call-in plan. Hence the reason why Microsoft has this Teams Phone with call-in plan bundle. So if you would like to be able to make outbound calls, then this will be the retail cost per user, $17.85. And of course, we can apply discount to that once you go through Opkalla. You also have another option of purchasing Teams Phone with pay-as-you-go call-in. Now, the pay-as-you-go call-in basically allows you to pay for what you use. So depending on the number of minutes that you utilize within that specific month, you will be billed for that. So if you don't necessarily want to pay a standard cost for the month to get a certain number of minutes, you can use the pay-as-you-go option in the event you're not making outbound calls a lot. Let's say you're making around 30 minutes of calls for the month. Then, of course, in that case, you won't necessarily need a call-in plan, a domestic call-in plan or international call-in plan. You can just pay for the minutes that you use. All right, so that's also another option, which is for $13.65 per user per month. You also have Teams Phone with domestic and international call-in. So if, for example, you would like to have calls made out in the US as well as internationally, then this is the call-in plan that you would purchase for $35.70 at retail costs. And then lastly, in order for you to utilize Teams Phone, you also need to have Teams. So Teams Phone Standard is basically an add-on for one of the Microsoft 365 subscriptions. So if you have Business Basic, Business Standard, or Business Premium, then you can add on Teams Phone because, of course, it includes Teams. All right, if you have Microsoft 365 E3, then if you have the Teams Enterprise license added onto that, or if you already have the grandfathered Microsoft E3 that has Teams built in, then you can add on Teams Phone. One license, however, that comes with Teams Phone is Microsoft 365 E5. So if you have E5, it already has Teams and it already has a Teams Phone Standard license. So all you need to do is purchase a call-in plan. However, for those persons who don't have a Microsoft 365 subscription, then you can purchase Teams Essential, which basically gives you the Teams capabilities. It also gives you the Teams Phone Standard capabilities, and then it gives you the domestic and international call-in plan. And of course, because this has all of these capabilities, it is the most expensive plan for $37.80 per user per month. But if you would like to get some additional discounts, feel free to contact us, and then we can assist you with purchasing that through Opkalla. All right, and that will actually conclude the features and benefits of utilizing Teams Phone. So I'll be handing over to Shanice to provide you with an overview of deploying Teams Phone. Shanice?
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Shanice Rowe, and I am a Microsoft Solution Specialist here at Opkalla. Today, I'll walk you through a structured approach to deploying a team phone system. Whether you're upgrading or starting fresh, the process that I'll be explaining ensures a smooth rollout and a long-term success. Now, what you're looking at is just basically like an overview of what the deployment process will be. So with project planning, this is where everything begins. We define the project scope, set clear objectives, and identify key stakeholders. It's crucial to align the deployment with your organization's broader goals, like improving customer service or enabling remote work. We then go ahead and require requirements gathering. This is where we go ahead and gather input from different teams, like what features do they need? Do they need call forwarding, voicemail to email, CRM integration? This step ensures the system we choose will actually support how your teams work. With requirements in hand, we then evaluate vendors. Do we go with a fully cloud-based solution like Microsoft Teams Phone, or do we need an on-premise PBX system? We look at features, scalability, support, and cost. We then go ahead, once we've selected a vendor, we order the necessary hardware and software. This includes desk phones, headsets, mobile apps, and licenses. We also consider accessories and backup equipment. Now we configure the system. This includes setting up call flows, voicemail, auto attendance, and security settings. It's a technical step, but it's where the system starts to take shape. After that, next we assign phone numbers and extensions. We make sure each team member has a unique identifier and that departments are logically grouped. If we're porting existing numbers, we handle that here too. So if you have an existing number that your clients are used to, this is the step in the process where you'll be able to go ahead and submit a porting request to port over your existing phone number. Now, next, we distribute and test the devices. We check for call quality, connectivity, and feature functionality. This is where we catch and fix any issues before going live. Before we launch, we go ahead and train users and provide documentation. This can be live sessions, recorded videos, or quick reference guides. The goal is to make sure everyone feels confident using the new system. With everything in place, we go live. We roll out the system and have IT support ready to handle any immediate issues. Finally, we monitor the system and support users. We gather feedback, make adjustments, and ensure long-term success. In summary, a successful phone deployment is about more than just technology. It's about planning, communication, and support. And Opkalla is here along for the ride. By following this process, you can ensure a smooth rollout that empowers your team. And now I'll go ahead and hand over back to Rachel so she can give some best practices on managing your team's deployment.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shanice. That was a very detailed deployment process. And if anyone here needs guidance on deploying teams or configuring your existing deployments, feel free to reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to guide you along the way to ensure that you have a successful Teams Phone rollout. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about what are some of those best practices when it comes to managing Teams Phone. Now, within Teams, there are different capabilities that allows you to be able to secure your data and your users. And one of those features that we'll be talking about today is sensitivity label. And this actually helps you to be able to deter leaks of sensitive information. So we all have some sensitive information that we want to protect within our organization. So whether it might be our employee information, it might be our client information, any sensitive information, we want to ensure that that is secured within Teams. So one of those features being sensitivity labels, what this basically allows you to do is collaborate more securely across your meetings. And how you can do so is by easily applying the right sensitivity labels to your meetings. Now, sensitivity label basically allows you to be able to create different labels depending on the classification of the data. So you can classify your data from being a confidential data. So for example, if you would like to protect any, let's say, social security information, credit card information for your employees or clients, then you can create a confidential label or highly confidential label. Or for example, if you would like to have like a general label where anyone will be able to access that information, you can create that label as well. So of course, those labels are customizable and you can choose to create whichever sensitivity label matches with the type of information that you guys are sharing. All right, now not only can you apply a sensitivity label, you can also enable customized watermarking for content shared on your screen as well as for attendee video. So watermarking basically allows you to have a watermark across your meetings. And for example, if there's any information on the screen, what this allows you to be able to do is protect any information from being captured from the attendees within that meeting. So let's say you're sharing your screen with sensitive information and you don't want persons to be able to screenshot that information and maybe share it with someone else. You can apply a watermark to it, and then that allows the information to stay within the meeting. So no one will be able to capture the information and then share it with someone else outside of that meeting or outside of the organization. All right. Now, lastly, you can also limit who can record your meetings and who can bypass them. So within Teams, how you can actually manage these capabilities is within the Teams Admin Center. That's basically your sole control of your Teams environment. So for Teams, for meetings, Teams meetings, you can actually apply certain settings to it to determine who can actually record your meeting. So can anyone record a meeting? Or can only the organizer record the meeting? So you can set that control as needed. You can also determine who can bypass them. So let's say, for example, you have a Teams admin and they have full access to be able to record meetings. Then you can allow them to be able to do so. And then for anyone that needs to be restricted, of course, you can set up that within the Teams Admin Center, specifically within your meeting settings. Or if you would like to have a Microsoft Teams policy, then you can also create that as well. So settings is basically a global setting for all persons within your organization. And then you have policies, which allows you to set up certain conditions for specific users. So let's say you have a marketing team and you want them to be able to have a different set of policies from everyone else within the organization. Then what you can do is create a meeting policy, and that will basically override the meeting settings. All right, so the policies will basically take preference over the meeting settings, but if there's no policy in place, then the settings apply to everyone in the organization. All right, so whether you're looking to control all of the settings for your employees or you're looking to control settings for specific persons, Teams has that capability built in for you to manage it as needed. All right, now keep in mind, in order to utilize these security capabilities, there are different licenses that you would need. So one of them being Teams Premium. This is basically an add-on to Teams. So it's not a replacement for Teams. It basically enhances the capabilities that you have within Teams. So with Teams Premium, you can purchase it for more advanced protection. And then if you would like to utilize sensitivity labels, you can go ahead and purchase either a Microsoft 365 E5 license, or you can purchase a E5 compliance license, which is basically an add-on for any organizations that may have, let's say you have business premium and you want to be able to have more advanced compliance capabilities, then you can add on E5 compliance. All right. And one other thing to note as well, because of course we do utilize these capabilities here at Opkalla. So just to share with you some best practices on what we do. Whenever we have our meetings with clients, we have a sensitivity label applied to that, which allows the calls to be automatically recorded. So let's say, for example, within your organization, you want all calls to be recorded and all transcription to be turned on. Without having the organizer manually turn on the recording, you can actually apply a sensitivity label. And then once that label is applied, once the meeting starts, the recording automatically starts as well as the transcription starts. And then especially for persons who utilize Copilot, in order for Copilot to be able to take notes for you, the recording and the transcription have to be on. So with having that sensitivity label, it makes the process more streamlined because the recordings and transcriptions get automatically started, and then of course allows Copilot to be able to take those meeting notes for you. All right, so one other plugin here, if you guys are also interested in learning more about Copilot and how you can integrate it within Teams, we do have a free 90-minute Copilot workshop. So if you would like to see live demos of how Copilot works in Teams, how you can utilize Copilot to follow meetings. So let's say, for example, you're not able to join a meeting and you would like to get the notes from that meeting, Copilot allows you to follow the meeting. So all the meeting notes are sent to you after the call without actually being there. So there are a lot of cool capabilities, and we're here at Opkalla. We're here to support you guys with each need. So feel free to contact us, and we'll be more than happy to get that conversation started. All right, and one last thing I wanted to show you guys. This is just a quick video on how the label actually works. So let me just play this video for you guys so that you see it. So that's just a quick demo of how you'll be able to apply a sensitivity label to a meeting. So of course, once that sensitivity label is applied, all of the policies and the configurations that were made in that label will apply to that meeting. Same as well for the watermark. Once you have that applied to the meeting, there are specific controls that will be there to protect your data and ensure end-to-end encryption. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next best practice. And this basically helps you to be able to safeguard your information by using automated meeting controls. All right, so within Teams, you can actually automatically apply policies with meeting templates, and this helps you protect either private or standard channel meetings that you have. So for Teams, you also have that option of creating different channels. You can have a standard channel where anyone will be able to access that or publicly, and then you have a private channel. So for example, if you would like only specific persons to have access to that channel, then you can make it a private one. All right. Now within those different channels, you can apply meeting templates. All right. Now what does those meeting templates do? First, you can schedule meetings with the right settings and controls based on those meeting templates that the IT admin would have created. All right. So you have very
Looks like we lost Rachel for a minute here. Looks like Rachel froze. Shanice?
I am back. Are you
Okay,
guys
great.
able to hear me? Perfect.
Excellent.
Sorry about that, just a technical glitch. So let's get right on. All right. So I was talking about meeting templates. All right. So depending on your organization structure, you can create templates. For example, client call templates. So if you have a specific structure that you would like to have for all client calls, you can create a template. And then once you select that template, all of the configurations will apply for that call. You can also have a brainstorm template. So of course, if you have like a huddle session within your organization where you guys meet every Monday, you can create a brainstorm template, apply that template to the meeting, and then it will follow that specific configuration. Same as well for a help desk. So if you have any IT admins within your organization that would need to schedule Teams call to help different users to troubleshoot, then you can create that template as well to make it seamless when creating a meeting for that specific need. All right. You can also create customized bundles of policies for users with similar roles in the organization. So as I was mentioning earlier, you have various policies that you can create within the Teams admin center. All right. So based on those policies, this allows you to be able to control what users can do. So you can control, if a user will be able to start a recording, if a user will be able to allow guest users to join a meeting, if a user will be able to turn on transcription. So there are different configurations within those policies. And to configure those, you will go to the Teams admin center, right? And then when needed, you also can automate the transcript deletion to ensure that compliance is being met. And this basically allows you to disable the ability to query like Copilot after the meeting has concluded. So there are some organizations that do not want the information within that meeting to be available after the call, because that information can be very sensitive and can cause an impact if it goes outside of that meeting. So what you can actually do is automate that transcript to be deleted. And once the transcript is deleted, that basically disables Copilot from taking notes for you. All right, so just keep in mind, if you would like to utilize Copilot, you would need both the recording and the transcription on. If both of those are not on, Copilot will not be able to take notes. Hence the reason for this feature, if you do not want Copilot to be able to query a meeting after the call, then you can have the policy in place to delete that transcript, right? So these are some of the capabilities and best practices that you can implement within your organization to safeguard your information. All right. And a lot of organizations right now are looking to automate certain controls without having to manually do it. So within Teams, you have that capability to make certain configurations automated. All right, and then this is just a quick video here showing you how you can create a meeting template. So this is the Teams Admin Center. Of course, you'll go to meetings, meeting templates, and then you can create those meeting templates there and then apply it to the meeting. As you can see here, it includes all the users that is within that specific template. All right, you have a watermark background here. So of course, within that specific template, you can also associate users. So let's say you would like that template only to have your sales team. So once you create that meeting template and apply to that meeting, all the users or all the sales team members will be automatically added to that meeting. So you don't have to manually copy and paste their information and put it in the meeting. So that makes things a lot more easier when it comes to having Teams calls. All right, and then the last feature that we're going to cover here today is how you can reduce phishing. And I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this term phishing, but phishing is basically voice phishing. So we are all familiar with different phishing attacks. Most of us are familiar with those via email. So, we do get phishing simulations that can basically help us to detect when someone is trying to gather information from us. Now, within Teams Phone, you have phishing, and this basically allows spam detection and call blocking. Right, so it operates just like a standard phone system. So of course, with your cell phone, you can block a call. And of course, if, for example, there's a spam detected, then there's usually like a banner that tells you that there is a spam that this is a specific spam or this source cannot be trusted. All right, so within Teams, you can actually automatically detect, notify, and block potentially risk PSTN incoming calls, and this basically helps you protect your users, helps you protect your operation and your brand. Because as we all know, when it comes to these attacks, it can be very crucial and it can be very impactful to an organization if certain information gets out. So it's best to protect these information so that those scenarios don't happen. So within Teams, you can automatically identify any potential spam calls. So as you can see here, this is an example of what it would show up if there is a spam detected. So it tells you that this is a spam, likely a spam. All right, so it displays that that alert on the call screen. All right, you can also have flexibility when it comes to customizing what calls and who can actually reach you based on your preference with inbound call blocking. So let's say there is a specific number that keeps calling you and you want to prevent that number from calling you in the future, then you can actually block that call. All right, and then of course, moving forward, you will no longer receive calls from that phone number. So it operates just like a traditional phone system. It's just more cloud-based. All right, so in order to actually utilize these capabilities and best practices, you will need to have a Teams phone license. All right, and these are basically some of the best practices that a lot of organizations right now are implementing. Same as us here at Opkalla, we do utilize some of these capabilities because we do use Teams Phone on a regular. So if you're looking to implement some of these best practices, feel free to reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to help you guys with that. All right. Now, this will actually bring us to our Q&A. All right, so let's go ahead and see if we have any questions for us today.
Great.
Dan, how's the chat looking?
It's looking good. We have a few of them in here. So the first question we received was, how does a GCC high environment change the integration of a Teams calling product?
So with a government organization, you have different license types. So of course, Microsoft has had that into consideration that different organizations have different industries and different industry standards. So with Teams Phone, you have Teams Phone for commercial organization, you have Teams Phone for government, you also have Teams Phone for nonprofit, education. So in order for Teams to work based on your specific organization structure, you'd have to purchase that license that aligns with your industry. So if you are a government entity, then you'd purchase the Teams Phone GCC or GCC High. For us here at Opkalla, we can resell GCC license, which is Government Cloud Community. But if you are a GCC High, that is actually a next level of government organization, and there are various CSPs that Microsoft has approved to sell those licenses. But for us, if you have any GCC, feel free to reach out to us and we can help you with implementing that for your specific government entity.
Thanks, Rachel. Next question. What call center functionality and analytics are available?
That's a great question. Janice, would you like to take a stab at that?
Sure, I'd be more than happy to answer that question. Now, within the Microsoft Teams calling setup, there are a variety of reports that are available, and they can be accessed within the Teams Admin Center. You are able to go ahead and download a variety, such as, for your inbound calls, you are able to go ahead and view any calls that were left for too long. You'll be able to go ahead and check whether or not their users were available, how long they've been on the call, a variety of things. I can go ahead and send a link within the chat as well that lists all of them that are available within Teams Admin, so that persons will be able to go ahead and view.
Great. And
Thanks,
just
Shanice.
to add on to that as well, because as Shanice would have mentioned, when it comes to Teams Phone, there are different reports. So of course, if you'd like to view how many inbound calls are received, how many inbound calls are answered, how long did they spend on those calls, then you can pull those reports from the Admin Center. You can also go ahead and utilize the Microsoft 365 Admin Center to also view Teams usage. So if, for example, you would like to see how many meetings were had during that day, how many Teams chats are going on, then you can utilize the Microsoft 365 Admin Center to pull those reports, which can be found under reports, usage, and then you would select Teams. So not only do you have reports for Teams Phone, but you also have reports for Teams on a whole. So just wanted to add that piece on as well. So yeah.
Thank you both. The next question is, does Teams Phone support audio conference calls? How many people can be on an audio call at once?
Great. It's a great question. So with Teams audio conferencing, initially Microsoft did allow users to purchase a license to get that capability. However, Microsoft now made that capability free with a Microsoft 365 subscription. So if you have a business plan, whether Business Basic, Business Standard, Business Premium, you can purchase the Teams audio conferencing for free. And of course, you can have any number of users any number of licenses added, but specific to the number of users, it really depends on which subscription you currently have. So if you have a business plan, I believe it allows you to go up to 300. And then if it's an enterprise plan that you have, it allows you to go up to 1,000.
And
Right.
just to also add on to that as well, if it's a case where you have like a webinar, just as we are on right now, you can have up to 20,000 persons, and that's on a view only mode. So persons will just be able to listen only. But if it's a case where you're wanting someone to be more interactive, Microsoft allows it to be up to 1,000.
Awesome. Thank you for adding that on, Shanice. So.
Great. Next question. Do we need a calling plan if we call out using existing mobile phones?
Well, once you're utilizing Teams Phone on your existing mobile, then yes, you would need a calling plan. So if you have a Teams Phone standard license, then if you would like to make calls within the US, then you'd have to purchase a domestic calling plan. So you can purchase the bundle, which is the Teams Phone with calling plan, country zone 1 US. However, if you're looking to make international calling plan, the international calls, I should say, then you can purchase an international calling plan. So depending on where you're looking to call out, you have a calling plan designed for that. But just to summarize, if you have Teams Phone, yes, you need a calling plan to make outbound calls. Or you, of course, if you have other vendor, because there are different operators that Microsoft works with. which you can purchase call-in plans for. And of course, with Opkalla, we are a vendor-neutral company. So there are some customers who have Teams Phone Standard and they pay for the call-in plan from another vendor. Let's say they may pay for Call Tower. However, with Teams Phone, it gives you the full phone system plus the call-in plan. So we always recommend going through Microsoft because it's more consolidated, but we support our customers with whichever vendor they so choose to work with.
Great, thank you. So, next question. How about functionality of a standard phone system? Main number going to a receptionist, ability to transfer to voicemail, ability to forward after hours, etc.
If I can answer that one,
Of course,
Rachel.
yeah, of course. Go ahead.
So I recently undertook a project within Opkalla to go ahead and set up what is known as the auto attendant. So the auto attendant has that functionality where it allows you to have a receptionist, someone who answers any inbound calls to a specific number. And then for different call queues within that auto attendant, it allows it to be sent to different departments. Rachel did speak about this earlier, but it does have the option to go ahead and set up voicemail. You can go ahead and set up your own hold music as well. You'll be able to go ahead and set up your after hours, whether it be you can just it be forwarded to another number or forwarded to a voicemail that you set up. But yes, Microsoft does allow for that functionality, and then you can be able to go ahead and set up an auto attendant.
Awesome. And one last thing to add on to that, because with setting up call queues and auto attendance, there is a specific license that you would need, which is the Teams Phone Resource Account. That is also a free license that Microsoft offers where you can get up to 25 for free. So if you are interested in setting up a call queue or an auto attendant, then you can reach out to us. We can add on the Teams Phone Resource Account, and then you can begin your configuration.
Great. Next question. Are minutes used when I am calling colleagues in the same tenant?
Well, if you're calling, are you referring to if you're calling someone like within your organization, those minutes would not count.
Got it.
You get unlimited calls within the organization. But if you're making calls, let's say to a next organization or a customer client, then those minutes would count. And that's where the calling plan would come in.
Okay, next question. We have a MSP which handles our Microsoft licenses. How would implementation work for us?
All right, so if there is an MSP that manages your licenses, the MSP they should be able to help you with implementation. However, if they're not able to help you, then Opkalla can recommend a professional services partner that can help you with that implementation. And if you need an actual CSP to manage the licenses, you can always come to Opkalla. So.
And one more question. And I think Shanice addressed this, can we port an existing local or toll-free number to Teams Phone?
Yeah, and the answer will be yes, you can.
Yes.
And then,
do we have any questions? Any further questions?
Last one that I will address as we close this out, but someone asked, who do we reach out to on the team to determine the add-on features and full cost of our specific needs? That would be someone on the Microsoft team here that would be able to address that for you. I will provide contact information as we close out on the next couple slides. So on to next steps. So connecting you with a technology advisor for pricing, purchase, evaluation, whatever your technology needs are. Also getting end-to-end assistance with deployment or elevating your current deployment through our professional services partner. So we can put you in touch with a technology advisor that can again put you in touch with a third-party professional to help you with any of your IT needs. So I think on the next slide, we have links and information on how to contact Opkalla for a number of different items here. Obviously, first and foremost, Teams Phone, which we focused on today, but we will send this presentation out to everyone so you guys have access to these links. If anything is in question of who to reach out to, or it is not covered on what's listed here, you can always send an email to support@opkalla.com. We'll have someone managing that mailbox and make sure you get in touch with the right person here at Opkalla.
Right, awesome. And if in the event you are not yet a Microsoft customer, and you would like to get started with us, there is a contact me form, which one of our members on our team will put in the chat. And then, of course, you can fill out that form and then get a technology advisor will reach out to you to start your discussion. All right. All right. And I see Shanice did put it in the chat. So thank you so much for doing that, Shanice.
Thanks, Shanice.
No problem.
And last but not least, our offer for anyone who schedules a meeting with one of our technology advisors gets a choice of one of these gifts. So reaching out to us, scheduling a meeting, whatever subject or whatever needs you have, you get to pick one of these branded gifts that we can provide to you. So an offer from the marketing team. Thanks for putting that up, and we look forward to speaking with you in the near future. Hope you found some good value on the webinar today.
Thank you all so much for joining. We hope you all
Thanks,
have
everybody.
a great day. Have a good one. Bye, all.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.